Thank you for joining me and taking the time to subscribe to this channel. A big happy new year to you, of course. Now, as we go throughout the month, we're going to see an interesting phenomenon which happens sometimes with cold air sinking far down to the south, falling iguanas. It does happen parts of the southeast U.S., back through the Bahamas, Cuba, and right across parts of Central America where we have iguanas and the cold air moves in. Iguanas are cold-blooded, so they really slow down. Now, they don't die, but they look almost like they are. Their bodies really shut down to help kind of preserve energy and to simply be able to survive in the cold conditions. So oftentimes they could be up in trees, and if they're a little bit shaky up there, when their body becomes immobile, they actually fall out of the trees onto the ground, and they could look like this. They could look like they are dead, but once things start to warm up, that sun comes up after a cold morning, the iguanas appear to come to life again. Again, they're not dead. Their body's just really kind of conserving itself. And then when it warms up again and their blood warms up, they're able to get up and walk away. So as we get into the middle of the month, we're going to see that cold air that is going to sink down into areas where we have iguanas. And there will be falling iguanas in some locations, which I'll fine tune as we go forward. Again, they're not dead. Their bodies are just very cold. And then they eventually, once things warm up, the air temperatures warm up, they start to get up there. But they start to get up. Now, what we watch for are temperatures right around 40 degrees, or at least in the 40s Fahrenheit. So that's looking at temperatures about 5 degrees Celsius. So what's going to happen, where this is going to occur? Well, we're going to see these big cold air plunges as we go throughout the month. January on average is the coldest month of the year. So it's not a big surprise to get these big cold air outbreaks, but as we get into about a week and a half from now, we're going to get some really cold air sinking far to the south. Now this here is looking ahead into January 12th, right? Now we're going to see this cold front plunging down to the south. This cold front's going to sweep through Bermuda all the way down near Puerto Rico, Haiti, the Dominican Republic, right near Jamaica, and then back through parts of Central America. Now we're going to see the Arctic air coming down into Canada and parts of the United States. That'll be over toward the Great Lakes, right up here, very, very cold air. Some of the coldest air for some spots in a couple years, but even we'll still see, even though it's not the Arctic air, that cold to chilly air sweeping down into parts of Mexico, Central America, and into the northern Caribbean, parts of the Bahamas and Florida, where we could see that phenomenon of falling iguanas. So it's going to be in this area here, especially parts of Mexico and Central America, and then swinging back toward the northern Caribbean, where by the time we get into about a week and a half from now, 10, 11, 12 days from now, we'll have some really cold nights in some spots, and falling iguanas will be a situation, if you will, as we go forward. Now, looking ahead to show you how cold some of this air is going to be, snow covers, of course, across Canada, northern U.S. There were some kind of rogue snow bands back toward the Denver area, Boulder, last night. But look what happens as we get into about the 10th of this month. Some of that snow cover, the snow will be down across parts of the southern United States, not for everyone. Chance of some flurries back toward the panhandle of Florida. Watching out for some snow back toward the Carolinas, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and back toward northern sections of Louisiana, northern sections of Georgia. We'll see how far south it gets. But point being, this is telling you how cold it's going to get. This is some really cold stuff diving down to the south. So it is going to clip a lot of us by in the Caribbean going forward. Now, here are the systems which are going to kind of line up and bring down this colder weather. Now, we've had this spin over here. I'll zoom down to the Atlantic region of Canada in just a second. Let's go out in time here, trekking ahead. System number one marches across the central and then eastern U.S. This here is by January 6th. So we're looking into Monday. So as we get into the weekend and early next week, the first system moves by. Colder air starts to intrude and starts to move down to the south, and you see some of that snow parts of the mid-Atlantic. Here's that front draped back toward the Gulf of Mexico. It's really going to be that second system that'll bring a better chance of snow down to the south and the colder air moving in for us in the Caribbean. Here is the second system. This here is by January 8th, so we're looking at about a week from now. You can see as we get into next Wednesday, look at some of the snow parts of northern Texas, central Texas. We'll see how that shakes out. Again, this is a week from now, so it is going to change. But this system's more to the south, and this will be riding its way off toward the east. There's some of the snow, Mississippi, over toward Alabama, parts of Arkansas. And because this is more of a southerly system and there's a lot of energy up here, that's going to really help this all dive down to the south. So this here is by January 9th, and then going forward out in time, January 10th. And you see the moisture here. Here's that front moving off the east coast of the United States down through the Bahamas, parts of the Gulf of Mexico, and back into Mexico and Central America. That cold air starts to move in, and then we'll watch out for the prospect of falling iguanas where there are iguanas. And then moving forward, as we work our way into the 11th, you can see here, this is the front. This is the front that's going to bring some of the colder air. So this is out in time 11th and 12th. You see that little tail right there? There's the leading edge of the front. There's that big spin just to the north of Bermuda. So the front comes near Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic, south of Jamaica. So we're going to get some chillier nights in Jamaica. And then we're going to see the colder nights into Central America. And the models are picking up on another southern system. And I need to keep an eye out for this, because as these kind of scrape across, they could bring some of us some stronger thunderstorms with it. But this by the 12th, this bigger system moving off, this allows that cold air plunge far to the south by the time we get into the middle of the month. And you could see it here with the winds, right? This is January 9th, 10th, 11th, just going out in time here. And to show you that wind direction, the winds come out of the north all the way down into Central America. Northerly winds right through Cuba, the Cayman Islands, Jamaica, Belize will have that northerly flow. So those strong winds coming down, winds not super high per se, but we're going to see that northerly flow that is going to be intruding, and that will bring down the chillier weather by the time we get into the middle of the month. Now, a few things going on. I want to zoom down to Trinidad and Tobago in just a second. Atlantic region of Canada with that system pulling out of the Great Lakes in New England. And then we'll be watching out for those developing systems. But do you see this spin that's up here? Some colder air on the backside of that, of course. Some of that snow as we get back toward parts of the Great Lakes, New York, over toward Quebec, as that moves off toward eastern Canada. Then we swing back here, still some extra rain around parts of the western Caribbean, back through Central America. Keeping an eye on eastern Jamaica, where we could get some scattered showers. Let me know in the comments. And look at that little blob right there. I've been highlighting that for us in Trinidad the last few days, and that flood potential. Gave you the heads up on that about 3-4 days ago, and you see that moisture building. This is the cloud cover, but the brighter colors telling me we have taller clouds, and in that more moisture. So some of us are going to get that rain northeastern Venezuela, northern Guyana, right back through parts of Trinidad and Tobago. I want to zoom down with the rain totals in just a second, but you see the scattered rain. Parts of Mexico east side over toward Cancun, Cozumel, not as much over toward Merida and Campeche, Belize, Honduras, seeing those scattered showers. And there's that rain, Guyana, Suriname, building back toward Trinidad. So kind of watching out for a couple spots of those scattered showers. Could get a passing shower of the ABC Islands, swinging back towards St. Lucia, Barbados, maybe one or two, but still watching out for this rain near Trinidad. Some of that may try to creep into St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and for us in Grenada, we'll see. But there's some of the rain, still these two spots by tomorrow that we'll be watching out for some of the rain. And then as we go forward, we're still going to see the scattered areas of rain for some of us as we work our way deeper into the week. By Friday, Nicaragua, Honduras, Providencia, San Andres, the Corn Islands seeing the rain, and then scattered about in the southeastern Caribbean. Could get clipped by a few showers over toward Barbados. But the rain, best chance of rain in Trinidad, not as much in Tobago, but you could see southern end of Trinidad, where we could see some 3-day totals of 4 inches of rain or 100 millimeters of rain. So a heads up, we'll have some isolated areas of flooding with this moving in. I'll be going back and forth with you in the comments. Put your location, and if you're getting some of the rain, no matter where you are, let me know in the comments section as we continue to build this weather community. Now look at the seas. If you have any interest on the waters, right now Caribbean Gulf, we're okay. This is later today. This is meters here, feet on the right-hand side of your screen to keep everyone covered. This here is by tomorrow. A little bit bumpier as we work our way back toward the Caribbean. Atlantic waters, of course, higher as we get back toward Bermuda. But as we work our way into the upcoming weekend, things are going to turn rougher. We're going to see one system pulling off the east coast of the United States, and that will bring down, especially the Atlantic passageways, bumpier seas, and then choppy to even rough parts of the Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean once we work our way into Sunday. And then the seas are going to build further with these next southern systems that will be moving across, and we'll get into that down the road once we get deeper into next week and the week after that with those systems moving in. Here's that rain that was in New York yesterday and still parts of today over toward Connecticut. Backside, there's that snow over toward Quebec, getting over toward New Brunswick. South side of this, or the east side, bringing in that southerly flow, so some of the rain first, Avalon Peninsula over toward Newfoundland. But you see that snow kind of creeping in. Not high totals, just that colder air that'll even move into Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island. Could see a little bit of snow tomorrow on the backside of the system. By Friday, it starts to work away. Could see a couple of those snow showers around 4 spots on Friday. Rain totals initially not too high, but we're going to be watching these next systems. Keep an eye on the Bahamas for that colder weather for us. Freeport and New Providence later this month. We could get clip by, especially eastern end of Jamaica. Some of us may get up to about 25 millimeters of rain over the next few days. Some of us nothing. It's going to be scattered Cayman Islands and Jamaica. Same thing from Haiti, the DR over toward Puerto Rico, British, U.S. Virgin Islands, not as much. Anguilla, Antigua, Barbuda. But then we get back toward Trinidad and Tobago, which I zoomed down earlier. There's that pocket of rain. Could get brushed by a few showers. Barbados, back through Grenada, St. Vincent the Grenadines, and St. Lucia. But the pocket of rain from Trinidad, northeastern Venezuela, in northern Guyana, even northern sections of Suriname, where some spots could get over 3 inches of rain, or 75 millimeters of rain closer to the water, Guyana, Suriname, and Venezuela, where we could get some of that flooding, and then scattered about, generally the same thing, right back through Central America, Costa Rica, Panama, all the way to the north, interior sections of Guatemala too. Watch out for some of the rain. Mexico City up toward Texas, mainly dry though. So hit or miss in Jamaica. Best chance will be our eastern sections of some scattered showers. Could see about a 20% chance of a shower tomorrow and Friday across the Cayman Islands. Rain chance though stays on the high side, 60 to 70% chance Trinidad and Tobago, mainly southern sections of Trinidad over the next few days. A couple showers around, may see a few more as we work our way into Friday. Could get a few more scattered showers in Barbados, 10 to 20% chance for today in St. Lucia. And you see that rain chance a little higher again on Friday. We're up to about a 50% chance in Grenada. St. Vincent the Grenadines will be up to about a 30% chance on Friday. Southern Islands, better chance of getting some showers, 20% chance the next few days in Martinique. Rain chance not super high. Dominica, about a 10-20% chance of rain, 20% chance in Guadeloupe. Rain chance bumping around 20-30%. Antigua and Barbuda, some beautiful weather as a whole. St. Kitts, Nevis, and Montserrat, 40% chance of a passing shower on our Thursday. Rain chance 20 to 30% the next 3 days. Anguilla and St. Bart's. 10% chance today, St. Martin, Saba, and Statia, and a 20% chance tomorrow and Friday. Rain chance the next couple days isolated in Puerto Rico. We're looking at a 30% chance and a 20 to 30% chance through the end of the week, U.S. and British Virgin Islands. Rain chance 20% right across the Bahamas. Keep an eye on some of that colder air later this month. Rain chance 30% by tomorrow. Could see an isolated shower. Turks and Caicos, the Dominican Republic, we have a 20 to 30% chance of a shower. Mainly dry again. In Haiti, it would be a rogue sprinkle or shower. That would be it. But Belize, active scattered areas of rain, a 50 to 60% chance the next few days. Belize City over toward Hopkins, Aruba, we could get a passing shower, 30% chance Curacao and Bonaire. Just 1 or 2 of those showers with that easterly flow moving in. Watching out for some isolated areas of flooding. Northern Guyana, same thing as we work our way into Suriname the next couple of days with that active weather. Cuba though, rain chance is not very high. Rain chance 60% across Costa Rica and Panama, and a 60% chance of scattered showers the next couple of days in Nicaragua. We do that again in Honduras, 50 to 60% chance of some scattered areas of rain. 40 to 50% chance Guatemala and El Salvador, Mexico City. We are on the dry side with a lot of sunshine. 20% chance of rain the next couple of days in the Yucatan Peninsula, but it is higher eastern sections, as I was talking earlier. Eastern side of the Yucatan, better chance of rain. 20% chance the next couple of days in Colombia, northern Venezuela, especially northeastern Venezuela. That's where we could see some of the pockets of flooding, and keeping an eye on the fronts that will be eventually moving by Bermuda. So cold air will be coming to the south. We'll watch out for those falling iguanas, something a little bit different to track. And then I'm going to keep an eye on these southern systems pulling out of the United States, Mexico, that could clip us by in the Caribbean with even some thunderstorms as we go down the road. But over the next couple of days, monitoring that flood threat near Trinidad, and of course always monitoring the earthquake activity. So I hope you're having a good start to the new year. I'll be going through your comments throughout the day. Have a good rest of your day.